Got some important updates regarding those tariff rebate checks. They're giving $600 to individuals or up to $2,400 for families. So when it comes to these checks, we're hearing some more information from senators, specifically Republicans.
Secondly, do something positive for the American family. And so I'm open to it.
I'm going to play you that video clip that's coming from a senator who supports the tariff checks. But what about the other side? We have a divide in the Republican Party, as some Republicans are not in support of it.
No.
So we're going to pay
that. We have $37 trillion debt.
What do you think a Republican then would introduce this?
Because you're talking about it.
I mean, oh yeah, okay.
That's it. It'll never pass. We have a $37 trillion debt.
I'm going to play you that full video clip, let you know the latest of what's going on. We're going to go over directly from Josh Hawley's website, which is the American Worker Rebate Act, exactly what the specific language is for this new bill giving out tariff rebate checks. And I'll give you some other important updates as well. Before I dive into the main content, if you appreciate these tariff rebate checks and Social Security updates, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. So the tariff rebate checks are really popular and gaining a lot of traction and a lot more popularity throughout the country. People want financial relief. They are struggling so much, and if America is going to bring in a lot more revenue, why not give the American people a piece of that revenue? So let's start off with this right here. So it looks like the tariff rebate checks, a family of four could get $2,400. So basically the way it works out, it's going to be $600 per person. And it'll be a maximum of $2,400. So dependents, kids, they could get a $2,000 or they could get $600 as well. So to give you, show you exactly how the American Worker Rebate Act would work. Provide a tariff rebate check this year to American workers and families with similar parameters to direct payments passed by Congress in 2020. So basically, it is going to model the stimulus checks of 2020. We all thought stimulus checks were dead, but it looks like 2025, we could have another form of a stimulus check, as it's saying this year. Payments could come this year. So 2025, we could potentially see these $2,400 checks for a family of four, or if you're an individual, $600 checks. So this is really exciting here. Also, it ensures the amount of rebate is at least $600 per adult and dependent. As I mentioned, $2,400 for a family of four, and allow for a larger credit per person if tariff revenue exceeds current projections for 2025. So what this means is that if the revenue from tariffs is higher than expected, which I think for last month of July, it was actually higher than expected, then we could get a higher than $600 check. Now, I feel like most Americans are like, yeah, this sounds great. Let's do this. But the Republican Party is actually divided. Haven't heard any input from the Democrat side, but with the Republican side, since Senator Hawley is a Republican, we're seeing a split in terms of support and against this bill. So first, let me show you the support. This is coming from Senator Cassidy.
I always like to do two things. One, read a bill before I make a decision about it, and I've not read the bill. But secondly, do something positive for the American family. And so I'm open to it. Now, it may be that paying down our nation's debt, lowering interest rates, lowering that debt, which may lower interest rates, which makes home ownership more affordable, may be another way to go about it.
What are your thoughts on Cassidy? So he seems like it's for it, and I feel like, why not? Most Americans would be for this. But you have a few people who are against it, including people in the Republican Party. So before we get into that, I just want to show you this. Forgot to mention this directly from the bill. So if there are joint filers, it's going to be $150,000 or less. If you make more than that, you're not going to get the full amount. $112,000 for head of household, and for individual taxpayers, it'll be $75,000. So basically the same framework as the 2020 stimulus checks. Now, here is a Republican who is not for these checks.
So Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill to provide tariff rebates for families who...
We're going to pay that debt. No.
So
We're going to pay that. We have $37 trillion debt.
What do you think a Republican then would introduce this?
Because you're talking about it.
I mean, oh yeah, okay.
That's it. It'll never pass. We have a $37 trillion debt. think about how immoral it is for my generation and older boomers to say to your generation, millennials and Gen Z, hey man, we had a great time in America. Here's trillions of dollars that you guys paid off. We loved it though. We enjoyed all this money that we borrowed on your behalf. It's immoral. I mean, we need to pay down our debt. We need to be serious about paying down our debt. I hear so many of my Republican colleagues say one thing publicly, that they're fiscal conservatives, and yet I hear, and maybe I'll say who they are later, hear them putting in $100 million earmarks for pet projects. That's crazy. Like, you got to be straight with the American public. There's not a Republican that doesn't run for office that says, I'm going to pay down this debt. And by the way, I have to look at all of you and my own kids and my own grandkids and say, am I being a moral person by saddling the next generation with this kind of debt? It's totally irresponsible. So the good news is President Trump's bringing in record amounts of tariffs, record amount of investment. The one big beautiful bill is going to unleash private investment in this country, which is going to grow our GDP. That's what's going to allow us to pay down our debt. I think the one beautiful bill, if it's executed the way I think it will be executed, we'll probably pay down our debt $4 trillion, first time ever.
But something is also.
What are your thoughts there? Now, I think we could all agree that it's important to pay down the debt of our country. I think 37 trillion, something like that. But then again, whose fault is it for all of that debt? It's all of Congress. All these Congress members making $174,000 per year, feeling really comfortable. They got probably multiple houses, multiple cars, plenty of food, never have to worry about going hungry. Yet they are talking about all this money going to the debt, which they caused. Now, I think that a piece even more than $600 per person should be given to the American people, because the American people, especially you, are feeling this financial struggle the most. It's not the politicians who are deciding whether or not people could get this $600, which I think it should be a lot more than that. But the $600 is for the people, not for the politicians making $174,000. They have no idea how far $600 could go, and it should go a lot. It should be a lot higher than that. So I think we need to be aware that the people making these decisions, who is going to get the money for the American people, they are comfortable. They have nothing to worry about, and they are causing all the financial problems for this country. So if anything, they should give a piece of their salary to go towards the national debt, which they caused. I know this is a little side rant, but let me know your thoughts on that. Should the salaries, pieces of salaries, go towards the national debt since they caused the national debt? You and me, average citizens, have not caused the $37 trillion in debt. It is the Congress members making $174,000 per year. So those are my thoughts there. Let me know your thoughts. Tariff rebate checks. Are you excited for this? Do you think it's going to pass? Do you think it's going to stall in Congress? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I just want to tell you that you should always stay happy, no matter what. Even if something really happened in your life, you should always stay positive and happy and just move on. And you should always be nice to others, so others don't be you should always treat others nice, because you have to treat others nice for other people to treat you nice sometimes. Sometimes that happens. But it's really good to be nice to everybody. So, it should be really good for all of us to be nice to everybody. That's the end of my tip of the day. Bye!
If you haven't heard, there are a few major changes to your Social Security checks next month, coming in September. Also, a big change coming August 18th to your Social Security. You're going to want to see what those changes are, so click this video over here. Also, I have the latest from the SSA Commissioner giving some updates about Social Security that you need to be aware of. Got some video footage with that, so click that video now, and I'll see you in that video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.